So let's revise. So we have started in request dispatcher in previous lecture. So request dispatcher, basically it is what it is, an interface that provides facility of dispatching request to another resource, maybe HTML servlet or it can be JSP. So basically, what is the responsibility of this request dispatcher? For transferring your one file data to the another, or you can call it as you can use forward method or include method for communicating with another file. Okay. So there are two methods which are defined for the request dispatcher interface. First is include and second one is forward. So these are the syntax of request and include and forward methods. Public void forward and public void include both have same parameter, servlet request and servlet response, and both throws and servlet exception and IO exception. But difference is forward method forwards a request from one servlet to another resource, so that resource can be any of the file, that it can be servlet, JSP or HTML file. And in terms of response includes the content of a resource in a response. वो खुद के इसमें ही वो response वो क्या करेगा, ऐड करेगा जो भी उसके पास response ऐड होने वाला है वो. So this is a example for forward method, where user is requesting something to the servlet, then servlet 1 is generating response, but response is kept in his site only, and it forwards a request to the servlet 2. Then servlet 2 is generating a response, and servlet 2 response is sent back to the browser, but servlet 1 response is not sent to the servlet 2. So because servlet 1 is forwarding a request to the servlet 2. So this is a forward method used. Then this is a syntax. How do we get object of a request dispatcher? So this is so get a request dispatcher is a method. In bracket we have to mention a string, resource, so that it can return a object of request dispatcher. Then you can use either forward method or request method. If it is a forward method, then rd.forward we have to mention that parameters as request comma response, and in get request dispatcher method we have to mention the URL of a second file, that is a resource of second file. Here in this case, from servlet 1 the file gets transferred to the servlet 2. So method used over here is a forward method. So we have to write servlet 2, that is the servlet 2 is a name of a second file. So this is a example for include method. So where client is sending a request to the servlet 1, so servlet 1 is sending request to the servlet 2 by using the include method. Then servlet 2 is generating a response, and response is included in servlet 1 response. So servlet 2 को कुछ तो भी response servlet 1 को send करना है, तो servlet 2 का response वो servlet 1 के response में include करेगा, and then finally servlet 1 will do what, servlet 1 will finally generate a response by using servlet 2 response, and finally that response is sent back to the client. This is the use of include method. So second servlet का response भी servlet 1 में आ गया. So finally servlet 1 is मेकिंग अ फाइनल रिस्पॉन्स एंड फाइनली दैट रिस्पॉन्स किसको जाएगा, ब्राउज़र को या तो फिर क्लाइंट को सेंड होगा. So this is the syntax of request dispatcher, get request dispatcher method. So then we have seen example for the same. How do we use this get request dispatcher method? So this is one more example there. So this is a simple example, or you can call it as syntax. Then we have seen example for request dispatcher method interface. So in this example we are validating password entered by user. Agar password is a servlet. If user entered servlet in a password text box field, then it will forward a request to the next page. Next page name is welcome servlet. Otherwise it shows an error message, sorry, your username or password is wrong, or username password error. So basically in this program we are checking hard coded information. So for this we require how many files we require? Basically we require 4 files. Index.html for getting the input from user, login.java file that is a servlet class for processing the response, जिसमें हम लोग लॉजिक लिखेंगे यूज़र नेम पासवर्ड के लिए. If password is a servlet, then it will forward a request to the next page, that is a welcome servlet.java file, where the welcome message gets printed. And one more change we have to do in a web.xml file. So this is a web.xml file is a deployment descriptor file which contains information about servlet. So we have to create aliases for the login.java and welcome servlet. So in web.xml file we use those names as the servlet 1 and servlet 2, and instead of login and welcome servlet, in forward and include method we have used servlet 1 and servlet 2 only. So this example we have seen in previous lectures. So this is index.html file which validates the servlet. If your name and passwords are right, then it forward a request to the welcome servlet, where the welcome user gets welcome message gets printed. If it is invalid, then error message gets printed and user will get a which page, index.html page user will get. For this include method is used, and here the forward method is used. This is a difference, because validating a servlet, that means it forwards the request to the another servlet if condition is true. If condition is false, then it response is included in a same page, एंड वो पेज किसको कहाँ वहाँ पे कौन सा पेज मिल रहा है कि सेम यूज़र को कौन सा पेज चाहिए नेक्स्ट. तो यूज़र को चाहिए आफ्टर यूज़र नेम और पासवर्ड इज़ रॉन्ग, तो यूज़र को index.html पेज चाहिए, तो उसका वो पेज एज इट इज़ इंक्लूडेड इन दिस सेम पेज. इफ़ रेस्पॉन्स इज और password is wrong, in that case the message include method is used, and if it is right, password is right, then welcome message gets printed by using forward method. So these are the difference between the this forward and include method. Then we have seen cookies. So basically cookie is what? It is a small text file that web server stores on a user's hard disk. So cookies allow website to store the information on user's machine for later retrieval. So the information which is stored as in a form of name value pair. So there are various parameters for the cookies: name of cookie, value of a cookie, then expiration date, path of a cookie is valid for, then domain name of a cookie is valid for, then secure connection is exist or not. Then so this is a simple example of how cookie works, where browser is sending a request to the server is generating, so browser is sending request plus cookie because that cookie is already available in user's computer. Then server will respond to that cookie, response is given by the server plus cookie is also there, is mentioned. So this is a example for the cookie. Then we have seen types of cookies, session cookie and permanent cookie. Where session cookie or transient cookie, this is a simple, say for the particular session it is cookie is available. After that cookie is removed when user closes the browser. That means it is valid for only for the single session, where session ID is assigned for the particular cookie but not permanently. For the temporary purpose session ID is assigned, and in this session cookie it does not collect any information from user's computer because it is valid for single session. Then in vice versa of single session cookie, second one is persistent cookie. That is, it is valid for multiple sessions. That means it is not removed each time when user closes the browser, but it is removed when user log out or sign out. Then we have seen where these cookies are used. Then how to create a cookie. For this we require javax.servlet.http.cookie package needs to be imported. Then there are basically 3 steps for creating cookie. So cookie create a new cookie object. Then second step is to set any cookie attributes. Third step is to add your cookie to the response object. So create a cookie object by using constructor. So this is a syntax for cookie. The name of a cookie is equal to new cookie name value. Then we can set any cookie attributes by using setmax age. You can use any of the attributes, but here the example is for cookie expiry, when the cookie will expire. That's why the time is mentioned in the setmax age. And then third step is to add your cookie to the response object. So for this, response.add cookie, that is in bracket name of a cookie is written. So these are the basic steps for creating a cookie. Then there are as different attributes are available: name value pair, that is domain name, maximum age, path and version. So this much we have seen in till now. In tomorrow's lecture we will see practical demonstration of cookie. So I hope everyone is clear till now.